Hi, this is the fourth video of this series. In this video, we're going to be placing some windows. Just like the previous video, under the video description, you'll be able to find links to the PDF files accompanying this video. Be sure to download the PDF file and have it ready for reference before you start watching this video. With that out of the way, let's get started. With placing windows, I'm going to take the same approach as we did with doors. On the window schedule, we have 4 different window families that we need to load into the project, so I'm going to start with that. To do that, we're going to be in Architecture tab, then click on Window, and the ribbon will change to Modify Place Window. I'm going to click on Load Family. Since we are looking for window families, I'm going to scroll all the way down and open up Windows folder. The first one that I'm looking for is Window Casement Single Left. I'm going to try to load them all in one shot. So I'm going to scroll down, and the next one that I'm looking for is Window Sliding Double. I'm going to Control Select. The next one that we're looking for is Window Double Hung. And the last one is Window Double Hung Double. Now that we have all 4 families selected, we can click on Open. And on the type catalog, we're going to have to pick window sizes for each family. I'm going to start with Window Double Hung Double. The size that we need is 96 by 48. It doesn't look like we have that, so I'm just going to pick one that's closest to what we want. I'm just going to select this last one here. Then move on to the next one. Window Sliding Double. We're looking for 96 by 48 again. This time I'm going to select 72 by 48. Then Window Casement Single Left. The one that we need is 48 inches by 72 inches. I'm going to pick the last one again. And finally, Window Double Hung. We're looking for 48 inches by 48 inches. Again, it doesn't exist, so I'm just going to pick one. Before I click OK to confirm my selection, I just wanted to let you know that don't get too hung up with which window sizes I select, because in the end, we can always duplicate type as many times as we want to get the sizes that we need. Then we're going to click OK to load all 4 families. It appears that Window Double Hung is already exists in this project. I'm going to select the second option. Let's make sure all window families are loaded. It appears that they are. Before we start with placing windows, let's do some cleanup. It looks like I am still in the window command, so I'm going to hit escape twice to get out. Then I'm going to Window Select, filter out and only select dimensions. Then hit delete on my keyboard to delete the dimension. I'm going to do the same thing for level 2. I'm going to start with window number 20, which is the casement single, 48 by 72. So that happens on level 1. Under Architecture tab, Window. Under Type Selector, we already have the casement window selected, so we're going to see if it has the sizes that we want. It doesn't look like it does, so we're going to have to make a new type. Edit Type, Duplicate, and the size that we need is 48 by 72. and then we're going to change the width and height accordingly. Width is 48 and height is 72, which is 6 feet. Now, since I want the head height for the door and the window to all match at 8 feet, before I place the window, I want to make sure that my head height is set to 8 feet. And if I scroll up, the sill height now is 2 feet, which if you check it against the PDF files, you will see that it matches. So I'm going to place this window over here, roughly over here. Then we're going to move on and place window number 22, which is sliding double 96 by 48. So on the type selector, without quitting the window command, we're going to select window sliding double. And the size that we're looking for is 96 by 48. And again, it doesn't exist. So I'm going to pick 72 by 48. Then edit type. Duplicate. And the name will be 96 by 48. Then OK to confirm the name. Width for this window is 96. And don't forget to add inches if you type 96. And height is 48, so there's no change there. Then I'm going to OK. Before I place the window, I want to set the head height to 8 feet. And then again, if I go back to the top, the sill height is going to change to 4 feet. And if you check it against the PDF file, it'll match perfectly. So I'm going to roughly place it over here. Let me zoom in because I want to make sure that the operable panel is on the interior side of the building. Looks like it is. So I'm going to click once on the wall to confirm the location. We're going to put a pin on this window, but I want you to notice that the line weights looks a little bit off on this window when you compare with the window to the right of it. Let's place window number 23, which is window sliding double 96 by 144. I didn't see that on the list, so we're gonna have to make one. Notice that we are still in the window command. There's no need for us to get out. We just need to double check to make sure that the current window is window sliding double. Then we can click on edit type and duplicate. I'm gonna change from 48 to 144. Then OK to confirm the name. The width is correct at 96 inches. We just need to change the height to 144 or 12 feet. Then OK out of it. For this one, I'm not going to set the head height because I know it's going to be very tall. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to refer to the window schedule for the sill height. And the sill height for this window is 2 feet. So I'm going to change this to 2 feet and then place the window. Once again, I want to make sure that the operable panel is toward the interior side of the building. This time, there's no graphical error. Window number 24 is a fixed window 36 inches wide by 144 height. So I'm going to have to select a fixed window. And we have a 36 inches, so I'm going to use that as a base point. Go to edit type, duplicate, and rename it to 36 inches by 144. OK to confirm the name. Change the height of the window to 12 feet. And then OK. This window is going to go over here. I forgot to set the sill height, so I'm going to go back to the property palette and change the sill height to 2 feet, then come back and place this window. I'm going to place it somewhere over here. Window number 25 is a fixed window as well, 48 inches wide by 72 inches tall. I don't think I have it. I don't. So edit type again. Let's create a new type. This one is 48 by 72. we're going to change the height to 6 feet, which is 72 inches, and width to 4 feet, and then OK to confirm. We're going to save our project. The sill height for this window is 2 feet, so I'm going to set that to 2 feet. And window number 25 goes here. I didn't mention this before, but whenever you place a fixed window, make sure that the glazing is closest to the exterior surface of the wall. That is the last window that we need to place on level 1. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to hit escape twice to get out from this command. Let's go back and fix the graphical error that we have with window number 22. If you recall, we have to fix a graphical error for a door that's not tall enough. For this window, the problem is the opposite. Without getting into too much detail, this window is set too high. For a detailed explanation, I suggest that you go to my other video on how to work with Revit doors and window. To fix this problem, we're going to have to create a plan region around the window just like we did with the door. But this time, instead of setting the cut plane lower, we're going to set it higher. To do that, we're going to go to View, then Plan Views. On the drop-down menu, select Plan Region. Then we're going to be in the sketch mode. Under Draw Panel, select Rectangle and create a window around this window over here. On the property palette, under view range, click on edit, then change the cut plane to 5 feet. That is a foot above the sill height. We can click on OK now to confirm that we're done with this plan region. Then click on the check mark to get out from this sketch mode. Always save your work when reminded. And now the graphical error is fixed. Next, let's go ahead and place these windows precisely where they need to be. I'm going to use permanent dimension for this one. I'm going to dimension to the grid line, then to center of the window. Place the dimension, then click on modify to get out from the current command. Select the object that you want to move, and this will happen to you sometime. As you can see, the permanent dimension is not changing from black to blue. And when this happens, I want you to check on the option bar. You'll see activate dimension. Go ahead and click on that, and the dimension will turn into blue and ready for you to manipulate. In this case, we want this dimension to be 9 feet. Click on an empty space to deselect. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that the plan region covers the entire window. So I'm going to click on the plan region and enlarge the window to the right a little bit. Now I'm ready to move on to the next window. The location of this window here is also 9 feet from the grid line, but instead of pulling a new dimension, I'm going to use align command. I'm going to align it to the window on the top of the screen, then lock them together. To verify, we're going to dimension it. The next window is the casement window, and the dimension for this one is 4 feet 10 inches. I'm going to click modify to get out from the dimension command and select the object that I want to move. Once again, the dimension stays black, so on the option bar, click on activate dimension. We're going to change this to 410. The next window is on the bottom right corner. For this window, I'm going to align the window jamb with the surface of the door. So the command is AL for align. And I'm not going to lock it this time. For the last window, this one is going to be 2 feet 6 inches from the grid line. So we're going to use permanent dimension. We're going to select the grid, then center of the window, confirm the location, click modify to get out from the current command, then select the object that we want to move and change this dimension to 2.6. Let's zoom out to see what we have. Looks like we're done with this floor. We're now ready to move on to the second floor. To get to level 2, I'm going to select level 2 tab. On this level, we only have two windows, which are double hung and double hung double. On the Architecture tab, select Window, and always save your work when reminded. On the type selector, we're going to look for Window Double Hung 48 by 48. It doesn't look like there's one, so we're going to have to create one ourselves. Pick one from the list, then go to Edit Type, Duplicate, and we're going to name it 48 inches by 48 inches. OK to confirm the name, then change the size to 4 feet and 4 feet in height. OK to confirm the new family type. Before we place this window, if we refer back to the window schedule, you're going to see that the sill height is 6 inches. So I'm going to make the change now on the property palette. Now we're ready to place the window. This window is going to go between grid line 4 and 5. And I want to zoom in and make sure that the glazing is closer to the exterior side of the wall. Next, we're going to place the double hung double 96 by 48 inches. So from the type selector, we only have 76 by 62 inches and use it as a base to create a new type that is 96 inches by 48 inches. Click on Edit Type, Duplicate, then we're going to name this one 96 inches by 46 inches. OK to confirm the name and change the sizes accordingly. OK to confirm the new type. We're now ready to place the window. Again, I want to make sure that the glazing is toward the exterior side of the wall. And here I made a small mistake. I forgot to set the sill height to 6 inches before I place it. What I'm going to need to do first is get out from the current command. So I'm going to click on Modify to get out. Then select the window that I want to fix, which is the double hung double. On the property palette is the property of the selected window. I'm going to change the sill height to 6 inches from level 2. And once we confirm the new value, we're not going to be able to see the changes at all on the plan view. But if you go to the south elevation or 3D view, you will see that the selected window moved down along the Z-axis, and it is now 6 inches above level 2 instead of 3 feet like it was before. If what I just said confuses you, I want to suggest that you watch my video on reference plane. Finally, let's go ahead and move these windows into place. To get things moving a little quicker, I'm going to first place dimension for both windows as per the PDF file. The double hung double is going to be 6 feet 10 inches from the grid line. So first we're going to have to select the object that we want to move. Then the dimension again is not changing to blue, so I'm going to select Activate Dimension on the option bar, then make the change on the dimension. 6 feet 10 inches. The double hung to the right is going to be 2 feet 6 inches. Click on an empty space to deselect. Let's double check to make sure that we got everything. In plan view, everything looks good. Let's check again in 3D view. I'm going to click on this little birdhouse icon to get to the 3D view. One thing that I spot right away is this double hung double window is not aligning with the sliding door on the bottom floor. I'm going to make that change on the south elevation, but let's double check to make sure on the outer side that everything looks good. What I'm looking for is I'm making sure that the header are aligning at the top for every windows and every door, and it looks like they are. Let's go ahead and move to the south elevation. So on the project browser, double click on south. I think what happened here is I forgot to locate the sliding door on the first floor. So I'm going to align the sliding door to the window above. The command is AL for align. then I'm going to lock this relationship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the PDF files to verify it. I will make the correction to the PDF files and republish. We are reaching 21 minutes on this video, so I'm going to stop this video right here and start a new video on floors and roof. I sincerely hope that you find these videos helpful so far. Once again, if you feel that I am going too fast, that is because I'm making these videos for my student and we've gone through this once before in class. Feel free to pause or rewind if necessary. And if you have any question, let me know in the comment. Thanks again all for watching, and I will see you soon on the next video.